Welcome to the Literary Escape podcast, the only podcast that serves both readers and authors of historical Christian romance. We read, discuss, review, and rate books in this unique romance subgenre, and sprinkle in a few contemporary Christian suspense books. Authors, we bring you inside tips and tricks from those who have gone before you. Then we bring both readers and authors together for fun-filled live Q&As. Literary Escape is the one-stop shop for both readers and authors to connect, learn, and grow together. Let's dive into this adventurous episode. Welcome back to another Friday book discussion. Just a few announcements before we hop in. Our Coffee and Books event last Saturday with authors Julie Lessman and Lynn Shannon was wonderful. If you missed it, you can catch the replay with the link provided for this episode. Our conversation was enlightening and inspiring for both readers and writers, so I hope you can catch that replay. We have another incredible lineup for our final Coffee and Books event this year on Saturday, December 7th from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join authors Karen Whitmire, Jody Basie, Misty M. Beller, and Abby Downey for an hour of book talk. Visit literaryscape.com/events to sign up for this free event today. The Unwavering Faith crowdfunding campaign will end on November 1st, 2024, so head on over to literaryscape.com/campaign to get your limited edition copy of Unwavering Faith today. And authors, we have Kylie Woodley joining us on Saturday, November 9th from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about book proposals. Getting your creative works in front of professionals in the Christian book market can be challenging. You need to showcase your best writing and understand what industry professionals are looking for. This class teaches you to polish a query letter, proposal, and writing sample. Additionally, we will preview resources for improving writing and where to find agents and editors. And finally, this class provides 3 templates to get you started. Visit literaryscape.com/events to sign up for this training today. That's it for announcements. Let's jump into this week's book discussion. We had a few technical difficulties when we recorded the episodes for this series, so please excuse any audio blips. And enjoy our discussion of Strategic Plan by Lynn Shannon.
Strategic Plan. Tucker Colburn is haunted by his comrade's death. He promised to deliver the man's personal effects to his sister, but before he can, the woman disappears. No forwarding address, no telephone number, and no way to contact her. The case is at a standstill until Tucker rescues another woman from a deadly attack. Leah Gray survived cancer, and the experience changed her forever. All she wants is to make a slice of the world better. When her good friend disappears, Leah will do anything to find her. Bringing attention to the case, however, places Leah in a serious peril. Someone is determined to silence her for good. Tucker's duty is clear. He must protect Leah while aiding her investigation, even if being close to the gorgeous brunette puts his heart at risk. But every step closer to the truth places them in greater danger. Will their strategic plan work, or will finding the missing woman cost their lives?
Ooh, okay. Let's just, again, start off by talking about Tucker and Leah's relationship. What did you think about it?
It started off a rescue, so we love the damsel in distress.
Don't we? I love them damsels in
That was
distress.
kind of one of those relationships that kind of snuck up on both of them, I think.
Mm-hmm. And did you like when he goes to rescue her, she like starts hitting him 'cause she
Right.
thinks like he's the attacker.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she's kind of a tiny little woman.
Yeah.
Isn't that how if I remember right, she kind of describes her as small, and here's Tucker is like this giant. I think she said his legs are like tree trunks.
Yes.
Wasn't
Like
that
his-
a description?
Yes.
But then he wears flip flops around.
Which doesn't go
It doesn't. It doesn't go at all. But he, when I say tree trunks, I'm not talking fat. I'm talking like fit muscle legs is how she describes it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's talk about Leah's mother and her stepfather. So Leah's mother is introduced to us in a rather interesting scene that I felt utterly embarrassed for Leah.
I'm trying to remember.
Okay, she came in drunk.
Well, it
and
was
hit
right
on
after
Tucker.
after the attack too.
Yes.
When she just barges in because she has tea. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying not to give too much away, but yeah, drunker than a skunk, basically.
Yeah.
I remember now.
And
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, who's this handsome guy? You
I
know,
would be
yeah.
so embarrassed.
Like she's like, Mom, please.
Your mom went.
You
that
you
in the
you
first
came
place.
into
That's why
your house is over here. You don't stay here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then her stepfather.
Sounds evil.
I was he was one of the people I thought was a suspect.
He was a suspect all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Like I figured he was the one. Yeah. He was one of them on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's just cruel. And then when he's like basically like holding her mother captive and like beating her and she's saying, you need to just stop, Leah. You need to stop because you're hurting me. She just was not a good mom till the end. She finally comes out of it. What about Detective Walsh?
I did not like him either. Just didn't take things seriously.
No. And he was like he was the sheriff, right? Like he was he the one?
There's Garcia, and then there's Garcia's the good one.
And he's with like the town
Yeah.
police, and then Detective Walsh
is with
more
the
the
county because this happens. They have to go through the county.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he just wasn't. Yeah, I didn't like him.
I didn't either. He downplayed everything. No, it's probably this. She was a druggie. Okay, so forget about her. I mean, he was just really.
Yeah.
What about the pig mask and the pig blood?
Okay, the pig mask.
I almost stopped reading after that.
I thought about you.
That's right at the beginning. Right, it's right. I know. And I was reading it, and I'm like,
I really thought about you when I read this, Tiffany, because I'm like, that's gonna freak her out. And then when they talk about the blood, I'm like, I don't know if Tiffany can read this.
no, yeah, I almost did not.
Blood doesn't bother her. She's
yeah,
a
blood
nurse.
didn't bother
No,
me.
but I mean, just like what they did, like the whole like
the whole scene because he's being chased by a pig, and it just reminded me of our time when we went to a haunted hog farm as teenagers.
Totally unwise decision.
Unwise. We got chased through the whole thing.
Never told an adult where we were going.
Yeah, we just went afterward. Like, looking back, I'm like, how did we?
Oh, God was with us for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they didn't have any ill intent, but
No, I think it was truly entertainment, and it was very entertaining for them, but however.
I know, because
It
I did hear him
traumatized.
laughing. Did you hear him laughing?
Oh, yeah, they were laughing all the time
So hard.
as they
laughing at
chased us to
We
our
were like,
car.
We should have just stopped him and like, hey, what's your name?
All these things we could have done.
Oh, I know.
I'm not that brave, though.
I just got mad at the one in Fort Wayne.
The other one in Fort Wayne was.
Y'all left me, and I was like stuck in a corner with
I
the guy
didn't
with the
mean to
chainsaw.
leave
And then
you.
finally, I'm like, will you just leave me alone and let me get back with my friends? He kind of chuckled after that. And I was just like, look, there's no blade on that chainsaw. It's just running.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Al.
about to smack it out of my way. Let's go.
I'm sorry. I just remember other people falling. There's a lot of.
Poor Jenny fell at the hog house.
Yeah.
We never left. We
We were dirty when we left there. Didn't we have to crawl through part of
We
it?
had to crawl through
Ew.
straw
Yes,
bales. Straw bales.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
smelly and stinky.
It still
and
smelled like pig.
I don't know what we were thinking. Like,
I know.
Obviously, you weren't
We
thinking.
weren't thinking. But we definitely hold to the code, no man left behind, because I remember Jenny falling, and Tiff and I were both like hauling her up, and we're like, get
come on, we gotta go.
I'm
We're
just.
like, not going to leave anybody behind. but-
I'm trying to picture you on the hood of the car
Oh, my
with
goodness.
Tiffany driving, and you like.
we got in, but like it's before key fobs, so you had to like.
you had to like get the key into the hole, and as your hand is shaking
she
so
was
bad,
shaking.
I could not
and I was
get
like,
my
open the
key
door,
in.
open the door. They're coming.
And then she's like hopping up on top of my car.
It's kind of like when you watch those shows or movies, and somebody's trying to unlock their front door, and it's taking forever, and you're like, just come on, focus, put it in. I'm like, yeah.
But my hand, it was like,
Well,
we
she
were
was-
literally shaking so
she
hard
was-
because it was, I mean, top 10 moments.
Oh my
scary.
god.
Oh, yeah.
And looking back, it's even scarier because I'm like, what were we thinking? We were the only ones there. Like,
3 teenage girls and a hog barn
Halloween.
full of boys
mhm.
for Halloween. I don't even know what we're thinking. And we paid. We paid to
did
go
pay.
through that.
And you've told Derek, right? What
We
Derek
paid
said.
to be traumatized.
He said the same thing Tiff did. That was stupid. And we were dating at the time.
Yeah.
And he was, of course, he went in total protective panic mode too. Like,
What were you
what
thinking?
were you
Oh my
thinking?
gosh, if mom and dad found out about that.
I don't know.
I think mom would have been mad and dad would have.
Well, that was back before we could call him. We just went
Yeah.
after work.
I technically had a cell phone.
I know I did.
Jen
So
and
none
Tiff
of
didn't.
your parents saw how dirty you were when you came home from crawling around, or like,
I don't know.
I don't remember that part. I just remember crying.
I just remember being like
Scared?
peeing my pants scared.
Like, I won't
okay?
do that again.
Yeah. And we never did another haunted
Nope. I never
house
have.
or anything like
Like,
that
kids,
ever again.
like, the girls have wanted to go, and they went with friends. I will not go.
I won't do it. It's too
I like
creepy.
hate Halloween, though.
Yeah.
I'll do
I
trick or
like-
treat.
Yeah. Ding dong.
I don't care. Come here.
Anyways, okay, that was.
So yeah, this was the book that almost broke me of the series.
Oh,
but,
I'm so sorry.
but
did.
I
think of
did.
you.
I did complete the series. So
I'm so proud of you, Tiffany.
I know, because she was a good author,
Yeah.
and I had to prove to Jessica.
You did it. You did it. Look at you. All right. What did you think about that connection between? So Tucker and William served together, and William died, and Tucker blamed himself for his death. And William was best friends with Leah, and William's sister was also best friends with Leah. What did you think about that whole connection there?
I thought it was really neat how she had it, and he didn't know. Like, William had about his twin sister and all that, and like as the story unfolds, he realizes, oh,
Yeah.
I know, yeah, this is the person I'm trying to find. Yeah.
So then he joins the search with
Yeah.
Leah.
Mm-hmm.
It protects her and falls in love with her all at the same time. I
Yes.
love it. Okay, the body in the trunk of the car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think this is the first one that someone actually dies in, right? The other ones, people got hurt in the books. This is the start of people actually dying.
Yeah, because I think in all the other ones, somebody's
Gets hurt.
Yeah.
So that was new for me.
I was so afraid it was Kaylee.
I was too.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, because
Oh,
we
okay.
know through the whole thing she's looking for her best friend,
Mm-hmm.
Kaylee. And
I thought it was like kind of suspicious how like the car kind of just got moved there. I'm like they wanted to. I don't know. That was kind of odd.
Very staged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you knew it was staged from the get-go.
The way it was described.
Yeah.
But the body, that scared me. My mic's shaking. I must have hit the table or something. So no, not you. I did.
Okay.
How about what did you think about who Leah's stalker ended up being?
It kind of surprised me in this one, even though
Did it?
it was in the other books, it was a suspect, but this one, it did surprise me. I feel like I've been surprised in all of them. So.
Yeah, I think she just does a really good job of throwing so many suspects that any one of them could be it. And then at the end, she finally says, and it's this person, you know?
Is this the one where their the bridge gets blown up?
Yes. And she gets taken.
Yes.
She gets tased. She can't help him because she's been tased and her body is like still flailing. And then she gets taken and yeah. Oh, that's also where that woman didn't die, but she's like walking across the bridge having been sliced across the abdomen, right?
Yeah, lots of.
Oh man.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Then the bridge blows.
Yeah, it was intense.
It's pretty intense.
And I was like, how are they going to find her? How are they going to find her?
I know.
And then it was.
And Tucker's so injured. I'm like,
Yeah.
he can't even rescue her.
Because the other ones, I feel like they did certain things to make sure they were traceable. But this one, there was no inclination they did that. So I'm like, how are they
No.
going to find her?
They had more members of the team. They had members of the team there, but
Mm-hmm.
they weren't planning for that. So we kind of already went over the many attacks and incidences there that they dealt with. So let's talk real quick about the nuggets of truth. Like page 124, she talks about giving your worries to God. Thoughts on that? Because Leah is also, so she's being stalked. She's being attacked. She's trying to find her best friend who has been missing for, 6 months, I think, or something like that. And she's falling in love. And
Possibly might have a cancer reoccurrence.
yeah, she's
lot.
waiting to hear back from her doctor to see if cancer's come back. So any thoughts on, yeah. I thought she did a great job, but I will say for me personally, like even when I do like hand it over to God, they still come niggling, like they still come back into the front of your mind over and over. And I find if there is a worry going on, I have to constantly just stop and say, okay, take it. It's yours. Take it. And he does, but I can't imagine. She had like 5 things going on. I don't know how she did it, but and then on page 148 talks about listening to God and following his leading. Any thoughts on that? She had a lot of nuggets of truth in this one.
I think that just helped inspire her to keep going with everything she had going on.
I think, yeah, because I think most people would give up and say, this is just too hard. But
She keeps putting herself out there and keeps trying to find her friend.
Yep.
Put yourself in danger.
yeah. And then on page 154, she talks about how faith in God impacts your marriage. Now, this is coming from Tucker's dad, who said, because Tucker's parents split. And this is like a memory he has of talking with his dad, where his dad said, if I would have had God in our marriage, it would have lasted. Any thoughts on that?
That's important truth.
I would totally agree because it always seems like I think that I always feels like Derek and I have this fairy tale marriage, but there have been in the past where things have gotten really not good, but it was always God that pulled us back together. And then so now we're just very intentional about making sure he stays in the center of it. And you would be amazed at how much he blesses that. You know, it's quite amazing. So I love that she put that in there. I've seen some weddings too where instead of doing like sand or the candles, like the traditional things, they'll do a rope, 3 ropes, and they braid it. So one for the bride, one for the groom, and one for Christ, and they braid it together. I thought that's pretty cool. And then she talks about how let me try that again. So then she talks about how God walks with us through the pain. What do you think? Any thoughts, ladies? Am I going to be the only one that talks about these?
I think so.
Okay.
Jamie did.
Oh, I got to go back and talk about that too, about her thoughts, don't I? Anyways, okay, so walking through the pain. I just finished reading If God Is So Good by Randy Alcorn, probably like a couple weeks ago. And it's all about how people going through like tremendous pain and suffering. And I have to tell you, it's full of true real life stories that would just inspire you and make you go, wow, I live such a blessed life because I've never had to deal with that kind of stuff. But I also know it's all the pain that I've gone through in life. It's God's the only one that's been able to get me through it. But the other thing is he's so real because he walked this earth. Like he cried when one of his friends died. Don't ask me to name the name. I'm terrible with recalling facts, but I can't remember the story in there. It literally said that he wept when his friend died. Was it Lazarus? Maybe.
That might be it.
And then in the Randy Alcorn book, he talked about how this dad was this pastor. He lost his son, and he was so angry with God. Like, why would you take my son from me? That's tough when God takes a loved one. But then he heard God tell him, I know how you feel because I lost my son too. Like, he had to watch Jesus die on the cross. I'm like, so he's not a God that's distant. He totally gets how we feel. So we just have to keep that in mind. Now, I want to circle back because Jamie had to leave because she's actually doing a historical reenactment event today, which is awesome. So I'm hoping she's having fun. So she had to take off. But there's a scene with Harriet and Nelson with the shotgun.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, because Tucker gets tased in the parking lot of the diner, and the guy tries to take Leah then, and Nelson comes out with a shotgun, and she said that it reminded her of our dad. She's like, I can totally see your dad doing that. I'm like, yeah, because I can remember him threatening to kill one kid, one boy.
Oh, yeah.
For hurting his daughter. So, not one of my boyfriends. Well, I've only got one, and I married him, so he obviously made it through.
Jessica had all the bad ones.
Yeah. Jessica dated all the bad boys. Not kidding. I'm kidding.
It was probably Laura or Tabitha.
No. It was one of Rebecca's.
Oh, Rebecca. I thought about.
He didn't threaten him to his face. I just remember.
Okay.
Someone that Dad worked with called Mom and said, I think you better talk to Jeff because he's been pretty steamed all day and talking about how he's going to kill this boy for hurting his daughter. Aww. So when he came home, Mom's like, what have you been talking about? And he said, I'm going to kill him for what he did to my daughter. And she goes, you can't go around killing every boy who hurts your daughter's feelings. I mean, he's got 6 girls, so you can't do that.
Gosh, yeah.
And he goes, I remember him saying, he goes, I got enough land to bury him on. Nobody will know.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he was mad. So mad. And Mom's like, Jeff, you cannot do that. He calmed down. Obviously, he's never killed anyone. He may have threatened them. He's never killed them.
Might be out there cleaning the shotgun or something.
Yeah, just so you know, son.
The grandkids coming up, we don't have to worry about.
Yeah. Anyways, she also thought Kaylee was brave for keeping her mother's addiction from Leah because she knew that her mom had a problem and all of that. All right, so how would you rate the following elements on Strategic Plan by Lynn Shannon? The mystery level.
A latte.
Yep. Drama.
Latte.
Yeah, a lot of family drama there too. And their suspense.
Latte.
Are we gonna go latte across the board here, ladies? Romance.
Espresso.
What do you think?
What did you have?
I would say probably espresso too.
Yeah, I would go espresso. Inspiration.
Mocha.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mocha. This one had a lot in it. What is your overall lasso rating of Strategic Plan?
3 lassos.
3.
I had 2 again.
It's okay. It's just because you don't like suspense.
But very, very, very well written.
As always. All right. Next week, we are going to talk about Covert Mission. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would like to invite you to connect with us further and get a free read. Right now, if you sign up for our newsletter, you will get the first 9 chapters of my book, Unwavering Faith. Plus, you'll receive news about our events for both readers and authors. You can sign up at literaryscape.com/newsletter. Until next time, happy and blessed reading and writing.